Hey everybody, Bruce here, traveling with Bruce. Today's video is called Where Are the World's Cruise Ships Right Now? I am highlighting this morning the ships from Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian cruise lines. And we're going to show you exactly where those ships are at this moment in time. Today's date, May 23rd, 2020. Thank you, everyone, for following my channel, and those of you who are subscribing to Traveling with Bruce. So important. Thank you very much for letting YouTube know that you like following my videos and my updates. Thank you for the thumbs ups that you beautiful viewers are giving my videos. It really helps with the analytics. Also, I love your comments too. Don't forget, join us between my videos and my live shows on my Facebook group page for Traveling with Bruce. We love to hang out there. And also, thank you for joining me on Instagram. You can follow us there anytime you like. Also, the items with TWB logos on them, the COVID masks, the coffee mugs, T-shirts, oh my gosh, RedBubble is where you go to order your TWB item. Just look down below this video. In the description, you'll find a link to RedBubble, and you can support this channel by finding a TWB item of your liking. Now, let's take a look at the map. Here is the world map, and three colors of dots there, or triangles. The red would be Carnival. The green triangles are Royal Caribbean ships, and in orange are Norwegian cruise line ships. This is exactly where they were this morning, May 23rd, 2020, around the world. You can see one little dot in the middle of the Pacific. That is Norwegian's Pride of America in Hawaii. A couple of Norwegian ships on the west coast. Then if you work your way towards the Panama Canal area and the Caribbean, you'll see all three colored dots there. Southern tip of Africa, you'll see Carnival ships, Mediterranean a few, and then some in Asia. Let's start just with Carnival. These are the Carnival ships, 27 of them, and this is exactly where they are located as I am speaking to you right now. Some are moving, and a bunch of them are not going anywhere, and the ones that are moving are trying to repatriate crew. But let's start off in North America. This would be some Carnival ships down by the Panama Canal at the lower end of the picture here. There's a ship just north of Honduras. There's a couple of ships elsewhere in the Caribbean. Here we have, off the coast of Miami, a cluster of ships just in the Bahamas area. Not uncommon. That's what they've been doing lately. These ships aren't going really anywhere. They've offloaded their crews, and they're sitting here with maybe 150 to 200 crew members per ship, if that. We might be down to 50 per ship. They're just hanging out here waiting for instructions as to what to do next. Once a week they go into a port, offload some sewage, pick up some water, pick up some food, and go back out again. The next area here to look at will be the Mediterranean. There's one ship in Cadiz, Spain right now, and two in the Mediterranean. I believe the Magic has been offloading crew members in Dubrovnik, and the Breeze is also in the Mediterranean. The remainder of the planet, you can see here on this big map, the cluster of Carnival ships on the southern tip of Africa. Here we are here. They're going around Africa. They're headed for Asia with crew members. There are at least 5 ships here that are moving right now, and these ships are costing Carnival a lot of money because they're burning fuel. They are feeding thousands of crew members per day, per ship, 3 times a day, and providing all kinds of life-sustaining services. Where are they headed? They're headed probably to here, the Manila in the Philippines. One ship is leaving Manila. 2 are actually in Manila Harbor right now. I know the Panorama is one of them. I think the Splendor is the one that is leaving right now, as they are bringing in thousands of Filipino crew members. They're also dropping crew members off in Indonesia, in Singapore, and Malaysia, India. Those 5 ships at the southern tip of Africa, they probably have 15 to 20,000 crew that they're repatriating back home. All right, let's take a look at Royal Caribbean. Where are the Royal Caribbean ships? There are ships in the Caribbean area, in Barbados, A couple are heading across the Atlantic right now. There are a few in the Mediterranean and a couple in Asia. You can see here in Barbados, Bridgetown, you can see the Explorer of the Seas, Enchantment of the Seas, Vision of the Seas, Serenade of the Seas. They are here and hanging out. The rest in the Caribbean are upwards towards Antigua, in Belize, and then you can see the cluster of Royal Caribbean ships off the coast of Florida, in the Bahamas, and in some of the Floridian ports. Royal Caribbean has moved ships offshore, but these ships here that you see here, these are not going anywhere. They're going to hang out here. The Mariner of the Seas, Brilliance of the Seas, Navigator of the Seas. These guys are going to stay just off the coast of Florida with a skeletal crew. As each day and as each week goes by, more and more of these crew members are being disembarked. Now, in Cadiz, Spain, the Allure of the Seas is in for some refurbishment work, but not the $165 million of refurbishment that they were hoping to do. They're doing some propulsion issues. Royal Caribbean, like other cruise lines, have been laying off domestically based staff and taking home crew. Here we are, a ship in Singapore and one heading to Singapore, and we have one just off of Taiwan. Here in Manila, we have the Voyager of the Seas and this Quantum of the Seas, still waiting to drop crew off. So, like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and all other cruise lines are in reverse right now. They are not gearing up to sail. They are gearing down not to sail for quite some time. And this is how you unwind a cruise line. You repatriate your crew. You lay off your head off of staff. You stop refurbishments of a serious nature. You delay deliveries of new ships. You raise cash from bankers to try to stay alive. Here is Norwegian. These orange dots all represent Norwegian cruise ships around the world right as we speak. A number of them are in Florida right now, in Florida ports today. These ships will, some of them will stay in port, and some of them will find their way back into the sea to hang out a few miles offshore. You can see the Norwegian Gem here and the Pearl. These ships, and there's one more in there, these are in the Jacksonville area. They're hanging out there. Then we have ships here in Port Canaveral, just off the coast there. I believe that's the Dawn. And I'm thinking that's the Gem, if I can read that properly. And then we have here an image out of Miami. This is the Port of Miami. We have the Epic and the Escape, both in Miami. It looks like the Escape is heading out to sea right now. In the rest of the planet, Norwegian doesn't have a lot going. They have one ship, the Pride of America, sitting in Hawaii, in Honolulu probably. And then in the Mediterranean and Europe area, you can see one ship coming through the Suez Canal. I believe that's the Jade. And then in the Mediterranean, there are a couple of ships, one in, I believe, Barcelona, one sailing in the Mediterranean, and one up in the Hamburg area. If I got that right, yeah, that might be Hamburg, or that might be Copenhagen, in the northern part of Europe. Norwegian also has done what everyone else is doing, cutting back their staff at head offices and unloading crew as quick as they can to stop the outflow of cash, because we are hearing today that the Cayman Islands, no way are they allowing ships in for September. They're now talking for the rest of the year. We're hearing now wishful thinking from Bermuda and the Bahamas, the Bahamas, hoping for June 1. That is really unlikely. Even July 1 is unlikely. Australia now September. A number of countries are just pulling back and pulling the string towards the end of the year before they're going to allow any planes or cruise ships to come in. Here's a satellite image here in Manila Harbor a few days ago. There's about 20 ships there that are waiting to offload probably 50 to 60,000 crew members. There are probably 20 to 30,000 more coming to Manila to be dropped off over the next few weeks. This will take a good month or two, and there will be no widespread sailing beginning anywhere anytime soon. These cruise ships, if they get the chance to start up, they'll start up with a handful of ships only, as I've already reported. And there you go, folks. That is what is happening as of right now, May the 23rd, 2020. Ships around the world are heading to places to offload crew, or they have already disembarked a bunch of their crew members, and they're sitting in the ocean with 50 to 150, 200 crew members each per ship, depending on the size of the ship, and they're going to wait out the virus shutdown. And for the USA, we have no new news as of this moment whether or not the July 24th no sail order will be extended or not. We know Canada, provinces in Canada are in effect throwing in the towel for all of 2020, and that pretty well ensures that there will not be any cruises to Alaska this year. There won't be any cruises to the Maritimes this year. New England, likely not. And that includes Quebec City, Montreal, all of those beautiful fall foliage cruises. Even if the USA is successful in any way of reopening their economy, there won't be any cruises into Canada. It looks like the provinces have already made up their minds that they're not going to allow ships in with thousands and thousands of tourists, where they don't know the exact condition of the tourists, because things change. This virus hides. There are people who carry it and they don't know they have it, and it's a pretty rough situation. So there you go. Europe looks like it's pretty well shut down. There's not a lot going on there. Dubrovnik is allowing crew to be disembarked there and immediately being, ferried home. They're being flown home, bussed home, trained home immediately out of Croatia. Barcelona is very tough to get into. Cadiz, Spain is opened on a partial basis for some refurbishment work. Same with the Freeport dry dock. But folks, it's pretty well, getting quieter and quieter and quieter with the movement of cruise ships, and current plans to start sailing. They don't look like they're happening. Anyway, there you go. There's the latest from Traveling with Bruce. I hope you're having a great weekend, everyone. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for all your support. We'll talk to you next time, everyone. Bye for now.